Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields, traveling, so excuse the setup. All right, watching a couple things. The first thing is this really heavy rain that's close to Jamaica. We already had some rain yesterday and last night in spots. That's stretching up toward Haiti, parts of Cuba, the Turks and Caicos, watching the southern Bahamas, even the Dominican Republic for that higher rain threat. So that is the first thing. The second thing we're going to be watching is back down in the south central, or rather kind of southwestern Caribbean. We're going to see some rain building near Nicaragua and Honduras over toward San Andres and Providencia. That could flare up into the next tropical storm. That's still a possibility, especially as we get into early December. And then we'll be watching out for another increased chance of rain, Trinidad and Tobago, back through Barbados. So tracking that as we go forward. So this area here with some of the flooding, and then we'll be watching out for the possibility of a tropical storm developing. This is the European model. And this here shows kind of variations of the European model. See the brighter colors showing up in the Western Caribbean? That's telling us that, hey, the European model is saying this has about a 30, maybe 40% chance of developing into a tropical storm. So I want to show you the European model ahead and the American model as we look down the road. But let me swing back. Thank you for your patience. Let me just swing back to the immediate concern. That is the first thing, the first kind of area of trouble, and that's the rain potential. Look at some of these 3-day totals. I've zoomed down for us in Jamaica, and you can see some of these whites, blacks, and red shading showing up. That could be some spots of 6 to 8 inches of rain, or 150 millimeters of rain to 200 millimeters of rain. It's going to be scattered to widespread, so some of us will have lower totals, but others we could see some of these higher totals. So giving you that heads up, the first area to watch is the flood potential that we have near Jamaica, and that will move its way back toward Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and swinging back toward parts of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos. We swing there. Here's Jacmel, for example, get over toward Santo Domingo. Now, the models as far as kind of what they show as far as the rain goes, well, parts of Haiti, you see the white shading showing up, 100 millimeters of 4 inches of rain. This is just a computer model. I look at everything behind the scenes. I don't just rely on models, and I believe this is underdone. This is not enough. The rain totals are unfortunately actually going to be higher parts of Haiti and then stretching back toward the Dominican Republic. Pretty similar to Jamaica. We could have some spots upwards of 150 millimeters of rain or 6 inches of rain over the next 3 days. Haiti, especially southern Haiti, south of Port-au-Prince, and even stretching back toward parts of the Dominican Republic, and then that will lift to the north. Now, that's the first area of trouble, what's going on right now. The second area of trouble will be that possibility of development right near San Andres and Providencia and Nicaragua later this week. Into the weekend, we could start to see something develop, and then into next week, early December. The American model still has this area becoming a tropical storm, and even the ICON German model has been hinting at that. The European, the Canadian, and the ICON German model as of now don't have it becoming a tropical storm, but they're kind of hinting at that possibility of some development back in the Western Caribbean. So looking at, let me switch back real quickly here, looking at some of the water temperatures right where this area may develop, about 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, plenty warm enough for a development or to at least support some development. Now, the next name on the list is Tony. It is not super likely that forms, but you can see I showed you the European model, how it gives it about a 30 to 40% chance of development, and the American model does have it developing into Tony. Next names on the list are Valerie and William. So there is that possibility of Tony developing this weekend into next week back into the southwestern sections of the Caribbean. Now, let's start short term first. And you can see that rain just kind of surging up near Jamaica, Haiti, the DR, Turks and Caicos, giving you the heads up. We're going to see that threat of some flooding, and then back toward the southern end of the Bahamas. Bahamas, 700 islands plus. Northern Bahamas, much better. Central Bahamas, looking good. Southern Bahamas, though, the rain. Look at this. This is by tomorrow in some of the same spots. Costa Rica, Panama, parts of Colombia. Also that chance of rain. And look at that little surge of moisture right there near Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent the Grenadines, Grenada, Barbados, St. Lucia, once we get into Wednesday. So still this blob of rain and then tracking this. Now, let's go out in time further, and you can see my concern with the flooding. This here is Wednesday afternoon. Let's zoom out in time a bit, show you what's next, and get you into the upcoming weekend. Look how it is similar, and that's a problem because that means where we're getting the rain, we're just going to continue to get the rain. That's going to add up more of those rain totals. still near Jamaica and Haiti, even over toward the ABC Islands. More rain by the time we get into Saturday. Then after that, I'll be watching out for the chance of development. Look at that as we get into next week. The American model does have this area becoming a tropical storm near Nicaragua and our Colombian islands and close to Honduras. Is that going to happen? Let's still wait and see, but that is a possibility. I showed you the water temperatures. So the American model has this by December, early December, a tropical storm trying to form in the Western Caribbean. Now, what does the European model have? Well, kind of a similar scenario. In the short term, just a ton of rain around. So to kind of orient you, Bahamas right through here. Here's Barbados, get down toward Trinidad and Tobago, swing back toward Haiti, the Dominican Republic, with that little surge of moisture that will continue to pump in. So some of our islands in the Eastern Caribbean, isolated areas of flooding, not widespread, but watching that, but a ton of rain just building back through the central sections of the Caribbean. So this here is by Wednesday. Same thing as the European or the American model, right, that I just showed you. Look at all the green in here. Now we have one little surge of moisture that's going to kind of lift up to the north, get caught up into a front. That'll lift up there, but back behind it, still all of this rain left over, and that will mean that flood threat will continue for some of us as we go throughout the week. Now, as we get deeper into the week and by the weekend, we're going to be watching out for, again, a few areas of rain, even in the Eastern Caribbean, but this spot in particular for that chance of some development. So this is Wednesday. Now let's go out in time here into the upcoming weekend. So we're looking days and days from now as we get into Sunday. This here is by Sunday, and right in here, just like the American model, you can see that area of rain. Now, the European model hints at developing this into the tropical storm. The American model is a little bit stronger, making this a tropical storm, but you can see why it has our attention together. Again, something is trying to at least develop in the southwestern Caribbean once we get into the weekend and early next week. That'll be the spot to watch. Now, in the short term, watching out for some choppier seas. We have a lot of rain around, right? So a couple meters in some spots, and that corresponds to about 7 to 8 feet in some spots of the Caribbean as we go over the next few days. Atlantic waters, of course, with the fronts, that'll be a mess. And then another front coming in. I'll show you that in a moment. A big front crossing the United States. I'll show you that in just a second. So this here is by the end of the week. This here is by Thursday. You see the seas are about to build. There's going to be another front moving in right there, parts of the Atlantic waters and the Gulf of Mexico. That's the next big front that is going to be working in. So let me show you that to you here. Atlantic region of Canada. Here's Bermuda. Again, we still have some of those showers that are around anywhere from Prince Edward Island up toward Newfoundland. There'll be another little front working in by tomorrow, trying to push back toward parts of New England and the mid-Atlantic, kind of sweeping by. You see that here. A little bit of snow on the backside in Quebec. Could see some of that snow, then kind of swinging its way back toward New Brunswick, at least a cold rain. This here is on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, that front continues to work its way through, watching that over toward parts of Nova Scotia, Newfoundland. There's that next system that's going to roll in. You can see some of the extra green with it, some rain with it, and some snow on the backside of it. So a bigger system trying to work across by the time we get into Thanksgiving over toward parts of the mid-Atlantic and northeast United States. Now, the rain, I zoomed down earlier. Look at that surge of moisture. I zoomed down to Jamaica, but look how we're looking at eastern Cuba, parts of Haiti, Turks and Caicos, southern Bahamas, those brighter colors showing up. Some spots the next few days could get 200 millimeters of rain or 8 inches of rain. So this video giving you the heads up of that flood potential. I already highlighted Jamaica. Now, Cayman Islands, we're going to be kind of on the edge of it. Heaviest will be to the east. Keep me posted in the comments what you're getting or not getting. Now, Puerto Rico, back toward the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, also keeping an eye on it. Most of it will be to the west, but I'll monitor that carefully. Elsewhere, 10, maybe 25 millimeters of rain, up to an inch of rain if you get a passing shower the next few days. A little bit more, though, watching that near Trinidad and Tobago. By Wednesday, we're going to see some of that moisture starting to move in, where we could get some totals of about 2 to 3 inches of rain or over 50 millimeters of rain. Northern Guyana, Suriname, some scattered showers that will be around. And then, as we get back toward Costa Rica and Panama, even parts of Colombia, lots of rain, some totals 100 millimeters or 4 inches of rain, coastal sections of Nicaragua. And then by the weekend, we'll be waiting to see if anything does try to develop into Tropical Storm Tony. Mexico City to the north, back through Texas, mainly dry. So the rain chance, not only on the high side in Jamaica, but it is going to stay on the high side for us almost throughout the entire week. And that's why, again, we need to make some of those preps. If you're in one of those areas that takes on a lot of water, in a very active pattern. Well, that's what we're going to have throughout the rest of the week. Rain chance about 60% today, Cayman Islands. Most of it, though, just off toward the east. About a 40 to 50% chance the next couple days in Trinidad and Tobago. But you can see on Wednesday how that rain chance goes up. Just showed you some of those higher totals for us in Trinidad and Tobago, bumping up again on Wednesday in Barbados. And you can see the rain chance about 50%. Staying active in St. Lucia. May get some rain, may not, but if we do, tropical downpours could lead to some flooding. 60% chance of rain by Wednesday in Grenada. And you see that rain chance back to that 60% chance as well midweek, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Rain chance 50% today in Martinique, a 60% chance tomorrow and Wednesday, and running at about a 50 to 60% chance over the next 3 days in Dominica. Generally the same as we lift to the north, 40 to 50% chance across Guadeloupe through midweek. Rain chance is lower though. Antigua, Barbuda, we're looking at only an isolated chance of a passing shower, 20% chance St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat through midweek. And that rain chance very limited today in Anguilla and St. Bart's. We're mainly dry for the rest of today. Rain chance 20% the next couple of days. St. Martin, Ceiba, and Statia, 30% chance in Puerto Rico today, about a 40% chance tomorrow and Wednesday, and about a 20 to 30% chance U.S. and British Virgin Islands over the next 3 days. Rain chance generally dry northern central Bahamas, but the rain chance will be building. But as I mentioned, southern Bahamas, that's where we have the better chance of rain right through the Turks and Caicos. That's where we're going to get the flooding. Look at that rain chance as high as 80%. That surge in moisture is coming at us across the Turks and Caicos. Rain chance 50 to 60% chance. Watching out for some flooding in the Dominican Republic, especially south side of Haiti. Watching out for that possibility of flooding. Be mindful of those river crossings. They will be very dangerous in some spots. Belize, rain chance not too high, about a 20-30% chance of an isolated shower, 40% chance the next few days in Aruba, and about a 30 to 40% chance in the next few days Curacao and Bonaire. Rain chance about 60% in Guyana today and tomorrow. It does go down midweek, goes down midweek as well in Suriname. Could get a couple showers. Best chance would be really for today. 30 to 40% chance in Cuba, but eastern Cuba, the rain chance is going to be higher with some flooding possible. Costa Rica, of course, those higher totals we talked about, and even in Panama, watching out for some flooding. Let me know in the comments how you're doing. Nicaragua, closer to the Caribbean, closer to the water. That's where we have a better chance of rain. Same thing as we work our way into Honduras, about a 50 to 60% chance. Only a 20% chance, Guatemala and El Salvador. Mexico City, we are mainly dry. We work our way back toward the Yucatan Peninsula. Could see a couple isolated showers around tomorrow and Wednesday, but the rain chance only at 30%. Northern Colombia, some areas of flooding. We get back toward northern Venezuela, rain chance at 40%, and we're looking at a slight chance of a passing shower the next few days in Bermuda. So a very, very active end of November, in a very active beginning of December. That's sliding our way. Watching out for the areas of flooding this week, that active pattern ahead. Tropical development will be possible, so I'll be watching the southern Caribbean for any signs of Tropical Storm Tony. So let me know how you're doing in the comments, especially as this rain builds. Let me know what you're getting. Please be safe with the flooding and have a good day ahead.